Tuesday, September 23rd. This is your trade rundown. I ended up taking two entries, getting 1,080. And actually, I went back and I looked and it was like 1,100, but we'll just say 1,080 because that sounds good. Makes me longer with my mouth, longer sentence, 1,080 instead of 1,100. So looking at yesterday's movement, we're going to backtrack this so you guys can see 630. So 630, we did get a lot of volume. Unfortunately, it happened way too quickly and price pushed into the gold zone. So for those of you that trade using the juice strat, you guys know when we have price, right? Like the gold zones sometimes play as a wall. So if we got price pushing into the wall, we don't know if it's going to reject the wall or break through the wall. So in this case here, we did nothing and we just were patient. So here we have the uptrend that we have during Asia and London session. Uptrend structure. So we're trading with structure. We're above the 500. A lot of things said, look to the upside. So let's play this out as 630 hits. 630 hits, massive volume, 1,000 pip candle. There it is. Right into R1 gold zone. Not only that, it's a wick to the top. So a wick to the top can sometimes mean, right, we might reject and come down. And that's something that we want to be conscious of because, well, it doesn't make sense to risk that much, right? Risking this candle here would be roughly about 1,000 pip candle that you have to risk. Doesn't quite make sense, especially if we know that that could be a wall. 50-50, but we're very safe on it. So what do? We wait. What does price do from here? It blows up. Beautiful. At this point, I don't really want to take any buys here. I just want to wait for a reason to catch this on the downside because if we're looking left, and this is what's difficult about taking entries when we're at new all-time highs. When we're at new all-time highs, we don't know where the ceiling is, right? We don't know where the resistance could be. All we know is the resistances that we can see with the juice strat, which is R2 gold zone and possibly this level here. But we be patient. We're patient, we're waiting. Price continues up. Lady candles are green. We're just waiting. So now that we're pretty much about 80 to 90% to R2, all we're doing now is we're waiting. Let's see what price does at the gold zone. Will it reject or will it break through? For those of you that trade using the juice, remember that's the foundation of the juice strat. What do we do at the gold zones? We like to take our entries near the gold zones. So price gives us a little wick to the bottom, continues to want to move up, little rejection there, and then price pushes up to R2 gold zone once again. Big wick to the top. So this is where I got into my first entry. Because it's just a wick to the top, I just entered into one contract. I didn't want to, when we trade using the juice, the way we protect ourselves without losing a lot, because what can happen here? Price can reject and come down, or price can blow right through. Right now, we're taking the risk off of this wick to the top, and price is overbought on our cross lines. So we're taking the risk that price could possibly reject this area and come down. So looking to the downside, I think I went into profit like 60 bucks or something like that, 50 or 60 bucks here at this level. And then that's where I ended up TPing. So I didn't, for me to want to add to this entry to the downside, the only thing that I would want to add, or the only reasons I would want to add to this entry is if like we break perp, which is over here, or like level really hard. But I really like to take my entries with perp. If price is above perp, perp tends to travel, price tends to travel up. If price is underneath perp, price tends to travel down. So that's always kind of my kicker. My kicker with wanting to add more contracts is always with, are we breaking perp? Are we respecting perp? Right? So for me to see price coming down, and you'll see it on the next entry, that price breaks underneath perp, that's where I end up entering in. And then I jam contracts. So let's play this out. We got a big push coming down. That was basically it. Done. Little rejection off of this gold zone. Price came down. Finished with my first entry. And I'm happy with that, right? I'm happy making $100. It's fine. I'm cool with that. That's money, that's profits. New money is good money. So as we're here, what I'm thinking now is, okay, price can definitely support off of perp and head up. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to wait. Play price out. Price makes it all the way down. Gold zone to gold zone all the way down. I didn't take it because that was pretty much the ending of our live session trading live. At this point, I went and brushed my teeth and was getting ready and took a shower and all that type of stuff. So as I was getting ready, I saw this here and I told everybody on live, right? Nick, Jesus, who else was it? Maybe Yuzo was in this to the downside. I forgot who. But I told you guys, be careful, right? They were in the sell-off and they held very good. But as price came underneath perp here, I told them to be careful because of this doji off of the gold zone. Price can push right back above perp. So I hope for you guys that was in this trade coming down, I hope when price broke below perp, you guys moved stop loss into profit because what happened next? Price shot up a little bit. Is what it is. How am I right? I'm not telling the future. I'm just being really safe with how we manage our entries, right? I know that the gold zone could play as support, so I have to be careful. So playing this out, I'm thinking to myself, okay, why did I not get into the top side as price broke perp? Well, because I'm pretty done for the day anyways. So for me to want to take an entry now, I really would need to see something very strong, like a bullish hammer or an engulfing hammer to the top side. But that never really came. All we did was kind of reject in this area. So rejection here. Now, this is the first moment I'm asking myself, could this be an M? Because if this turns into an M, yes, I'll take that bitch to the downside. I shouldn't have sworn. I think YouTube might demonetize me. My bad. So as we're getting this big push of volume to the downside, I'm like, good. Let's look for a reason to take this down. So as price is pushing down here, we got this wick right here. Wick, upside down shooting star, pretty strong. That was where I got into my first entry. And why did I do that? Why did I get in right there as my first entry? It is really the first good, confident candle pushing us underneath perp. And you guys know I like to take perp. Just like I told you guys with price going up here, I don't want to take anything against that unless price gets underneath perp. So this is the first time price has shown interest that it wants to get underneath perp. And if price stays underneath perp, price is bound to come down. Let's play that out. And we'll show you guys where I ended up adding contracts. So price just kind of dances over here. Dancing some more. Boom. That right there. Yes, it is a wick to the bottom, but for me, it's enough to say, hey, we've got this downtrend forming. We're underneath perp. If we break the gold zone, we're likely to come down to at least the top of London. But that's where I end up adding contracts. I put my TP right in this area. I add enough for about a $600 TP. It's right about here. As price continues, 205 in profit, 322 in profit, 325 in profit, 316 in profit, 325 in profit, 480 done. Juice strap, baby. That's it. That's it. So for those of you that are looking at how we trade and think it's difficult, it's not. Trading using the juice strat and the way I teach it to you guys is just candlesticks bouncing off of lines. It's just lines bouncing off of other lines. We bounce off of this line, we head up to this gold zone line. We break through this gold zone, we go to the next gold zone. We reject off of this gold zone, we come down to the next gold zone. We reject off the downtrend, we push underneath this gold zone, and look what happens here. We'll play it out. I took my profit there, but look at this. Look at where the other gold zone is, right? We break this gold zone. Where are we likely to go? Down to this gold zone. Let's play it out just so you guys can see. Juice strap, baby! So that was where I ended my day over here as I hit the $1,000 entry, ending my day at 1,080. Technically, it's like 1,100, but That's it. So once again, for those of you that are looking to learn how to trade, trading is just one big game. And I love it. One big game that just so happens to put money in your pocket. 1,080 for the day, 1,100. Do strap, baby. If you guys have any questions, if anybody is interested in learning how to trade, hit me up. My DMs are open. Book a time slot with me on Calendly, and I will see you guys live tomorrow. Do strap, baby. Head out.